I'd like for us to go back about, 8 years or so ago, the time that we spent in this room debating the Affordable Care Act. We did not have 1 day of hearings. We had, as I recall, 97 hearings, roundtables, and walkthroughs on health care reform, 97. The Senate Finance Committee itself did 8 days of markup on the legislation. I think 130 amendments were considered. We actually had the folks who run CBO here at this table to tell us what the effect would be on our budget if the Affordable Care Act were adopted. And we're told that under their score, which they actually had time to produce, the budget deficit would be reduced in the first 10 years by $130 billion, in the second 10 years by $1 trillion. During the course of the debate here in this committee, in the Health, Education, Labor, Pension Committee, some 300 amendments were offered, 160 Republican amendments adopted. The Senate then spent 25 consecutive days in session on health care reform, second longest in the history of our country. We're here for 1 day of a hearing, 1 day. You asked my friend how he's doing. He says, compared to what? Well, how about compared to what you participated in, Ms. Miller, in the last several weeks before the Health, Education, Labor, Pension Committee? They didn't just have 1 hearing. Senator Alexander and Senator Murray had 4 days of hearings. Governors, insurance committees, providers, health insurance companies, health economies from all over the country. 4 days. And those were preceded each day by roundtables, bipartisan roundtables where people like us who don't serve on the Health Committee could actually meet with and question the witnesses, including you. That's what we did. This is an unprecedented effort. I mean, we've gotten, one of the things that I take my hat off, and I think our 2 Republican colleagues, one currently here and one who used to be here with whom I worked on welfare reform, bipartisan effort. I look for a panel of witnesses to be able to unite us. And I would say this proposal from my friends have united some 400 organizations, healthcare organizations, and groups across. I've never seen a coalition like this in my life. Maybe they're all wrong. Maybe they are all wrong. They stretch from coast to coast, every nook and cranny, but they say, please don't do this. Slow down, hit the pause button, and do what Ms. Miller has suggested over and over again, and what our colleague John McCain suggested again as recently as last week.